Studying abroad isn't just about a new city or a new language. It's the challenges, the discoveries, and the journey you have to go through to finally feel you belong. This podcast is a space for those stories. Welcome to With an Accent, a podcast of Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. Soy Mateo Medina Abad, and I'm a student of communication for business, media, and culture, and I'll be your host for the whole podcast. Today I'm with Santiago Sabogal, who is a Colombian like me, and he's a student of the Masters in Innovation and Technology Management. His story is about how Milan is changing his habits, his style, and his perspectives in ways he's only now beginning to understand. Avoiding the awkwardness of the first hello, and understanding the fear we all have of talking in front of a camera and with a microphone, we jump right when the conversation got interesting and Santiago starts to reflect on his journey. How do you realize you've actually changed? Because sometimes, for me, for example, it's super hard to realize if I've changed if someone doesn't tell me.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. For example, I've gotten to see that I added a lot of mannerisms to how I talk.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of stuff that I've never done before.
Okay.
And when I call my parents, they go like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "Huh?" I don't know. I even say "bo." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a switch.
One of my favorite Italian expressions.
So I was thinking, like, when do you realize you changed? You moved to Boston. It's a new context. You're speaking in English all the time. You're speaking less Spanish. It's like this. We're speaking English now.
I would agree that it is.
Milan.
Yeah, it is really hard to realize.
Okay.
For sure. Like, because you're not thinking about you that way. Maybe the times you go back or you speak to someone from your past, that like gives you contrast. Because I think when I left Colombia, there's like in my head something like Colombia is frozen in time, and if I go back, it's gonna be the same. It's not. So when you face that, it's when you actually realize, oh, I've changed too.
Okay.
It's not just them.
But how would you describe that? Like, how would you describe for someone that is living the same process? Like, I mean, if they're here, they finally think they've made it, and now they are reflecting, okay, this is the person I've become, this is who I am, this is who I've changed to be.
Yeah.
How would you describe Boston, Santiago, Milan, Santiago,
Bogotá, Santiago.
Bogotá, Santiago, yeah.
In Bogotá, I was even quieter. And I have this friend, she says that I used to like speak with my face, with my expressions, instead of actually saying something.
Yeah, like a Colombian. No, where is the...
No, I mean, the pointing with the mouth is something.
We point with the mouth, guys. Be aware of this. Like, whenever you see a Colombian and you ask him, where does the cup? I'm pointing with my lips.
We're not blowing a kiss, which has happened. I mean, someone confused that one time. It was really awkward.
Someone thought you were giving them a kiss?
Yeah. Like I was in Mensa in the cafeteria, and we were looking for a table, and someone like asked me like, where are we sitting? I was like, right there. And there was like a girl from also my master's sitting there. Like I was pointing at her with my mouth, but she thought I was blowing a kiss. It was really really awkward.
Colombia en la casa.
Yeah.
No, but but that's a big change. That's what I mean. That's also letting yourself go. That's also losing parts of you.
For sure.
So, coming to an introvert to a city that you have to be an extrovert to live in Milan a bit.
Yeah, you have to.
It's a city that forces you to talk to people.
No, I mean, I think maybe it's not really a Milan thing. Just moving away from home.
Okay.
You have to change a little bit, and in my case, when I moved to Boston, I had to like be an extrovert or just get out of my comfort zone to talk to my boss, to talk with my mates, with my new friends. Like I have to show people who I was, and I couldn't do that just by listening. So that was maybe a turning point when I moved to Boston. Then when I came to Milano, I was okay being quiet, and I was also okay like showing who I was. So I got like that balance now, I think.
Okay, if we could go back to that specific thing, what would you describe? What is the meaning of being comfortable in your own skin? Because, I mean, comfortable in your own skin is it's a big thing.
Okay, yeah.
How would you describe feeling not comfortable in your own skin versus now I am Santiago, I am me, I am finally allowing myself to be me? Like, what is that thing that allows you to be you?
That's hard. I think that's something that takes time.
The best question I've ever done in my life.
I hope I give answer that matches it.
I'm sure, I hope.
No, that's definitely a process. Like, to be comfortable with yourself, you have to know what you like, what you don't like. Like, where are your limits? What are you willing to do for someone else? What are you not? What are you willing to do for yourself? So, like, in my case, like, I'm in a podcast right now. I'm supposed to talk, but I'm not gonna say shy. Maybe just quiet person at first.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I like to listen and just mention and weigh in on subjects if I really feel I need to or want to. But at first, I just listen and stuff like that. I wasn't comfortable doing that at first. Like, when I started, like, discovering who I am, I guess. I thought being quiet and not saying anything was a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, a lot of time has passed, a lot of experiences. Now that I'm here in Cattolica in Milano, I know that's perfectly fine. That's me. And people, like, still, like, talk to me, which I thought they wouldn't.
I believe in general that we don't let bad things be talked about enough.
Okay.
As a society and as people, we have this idea or this perception that we have to be perceived as, like, at least to the outside, we have to be this well put out, everything's going on, everything's perfect, my life is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, you're in Milan, why would you complain?
Yeah.
You're in a great city, you're in a great place, you're enjoying your life, you're, like, experiencing new things. But the switch to the new Santiago had to deal with difficult moments.
Yeah,
for sure. We don't want to go in the details of the difficult moments, but what would you say, like, as a final reflection, or what do you feel is that those lows that allow you to have a great high now, because you're shining, man?
Thank you. I think the first step is just to face those moments, just head on. Yeah, and I mean, not to make yourself, like, feel bad. Just, like, you have to go through with it. You cannot run from whatever's happening to you or your emotions. You have to face them, and it's gonna suck at first. It sucks. But at some point, like, you like turn the page. You don't really notice when. You just have to, like, trust that it's gonna work out. In my case, I focused a lot on just working on myself. How do I want my daily life to be? Which routines I want to build, which I do not, which habits I want to keep. Also, being really mindful of which relationships you want to build.
What has led you, like, create those changes? What has allowed you to understand the city where you are and allow yourself to grow and allow yourself to build the new Santiago?
I think it has a lot to do with who you surround yourself with. So I think here at Cattolica, I've been really lucky.
You had to meet me, kind of.
For sure. Like, Mateo.
I mean, it's
Huge part of my process.
it's part of the experience.
I'll be done with that here. But yeah, no, I like actually other Latino students, other international students. Like, in my master's, there's just like 4 international students. There are other 100, they're Italian ones, and they're great. Like, they were really welcoming, and at first they were really curious to know why we came, where we come from, why are we here. And then I understood they liked me just because of who I am, and getting that confidence is what allows you to
be
change, be you, and also accept the change that you're going through after moving.
Santi, would you say you had an expectations with food?
I expected good food for sure.
Yeah. You remember the first pizza? Oh my god.
the fact that they serve you the whole pizza for yourself, because we are used to slices.
We're here to slice.
So that was awesome. That was great. Like,
Yeah.
can eat it.
When you're gonna go back to Colombia, we're gonna be like, why are those guys eating a whole pizza by themselves?
No, and even like ordering from franchises like Gino's Pizza or Domino's. Like,
Never again.
I want the small, local, like small business. I don't want the big franchise.
Okay.
I like how much thought goes into pasta. Like, it has to be al dente, and this sauce goes with this type of pasta and everything. Like, you don't know that coming from Colombia. I didn't know that. So
I have a hot take on the matter, but
okay, maybe that's
no.
It's just
But it's actually very controversial. They would probably like Matteo outside of Cattolica, outside of Italy. No. But I'm joking. I like one of the coolest things about like the discoveries, at least of expectations, is like you hear that Italians are very specific on how you eat their food. You never manage to understand until you come here.
I mean,
how specific they are to when, how, and what, and why you eat their food in that way.
I mean,
Never again. Do you think that happen to you?
The coffee thing, like having a cappuccino after what is it, noon?
Yeah.
Why can't I have a cappuccino after noon? It makes no sense. I'm sorry, but I should be able to order a cappuccino and not be like look wrong or something.
You should be able to be happy, man. To eat
True,
food
yeah.
however way you want. To eat pasta, short pasta with the wrong sauce. I mean, it's fun. It's like, why would you know that before coming here?
That's true. But having said that, like, I went back this on December, and my grandma made pasta. I was like, Grandma, this is not al dente. This is really over. I mean, no, I didn't say that to my grandma. I said it to my mom.
Mom, this is very overcooked.
No, Mom, grandma's pasta is really overcooked. Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of become part of it.
But when do you stop thinking? Like, was there a moment? I have my moment, for example. I was walking in Centrale one day.
Okay.
I was just back from Barcelona. I was seeing a friend. I came back and I was like, oh, thank God I'm home. And I was like, what?
Okay.
It was like,
okay.
What? Like, why am I feeling this sudden like urge of, oh, okay, I'm home?
Okay, I think, yeah, maybe. I think my moment just passed. It was
just recently.
this August, I think.
Okay, why?
I also came back for a couple trips. Also from Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And I just felt comfortable. And when I was like traveling, I was like, I want to be home, but I was not thinking about Boston. I was not thinking about Colombia. I was thinking about my bed here in Milan. Maybe there's a moment that you have to disconnect and come back. Then you realize, oh, okay, this is home.
Maybe one final question, because there's a thing that we like, and it's like this thing that we want to keep doing in this podcast, which is, I mean, we both speak Spanish, so it's very weird for us. And it's very weird for people all together to live in another language that's not your own. Like, it's a thing you adapt to, but you always miss where you're from and where you were born and where you talk to. What would you tell Santiago, who moved not only to Boston, to Milan, like first person that decided, okay, I'm going to be far from home? What would you tell to yourself, but in Spanish? And then we'll translate it. ¿Qué te dirías?
Okay. Ahora tengo que cambiar. Me diría como... No, I'm thinking in English. Own it.
No.
Eh,
¿Cómo va a ser?
No sé. No cortamos y
No, esto tiene que seguir así.
Okay. Claro, que tienes que apropiarte
Okay.
como de tus raíces un poco. Como cuando me mudé al principio en Boston, intentaba ser muy americanizado, muy americano. Y aquí, aquí no sabía cómo comportarme mucho. Pero aquí como que ya intento como apropiarme de eso y puedo estar hablando en italiano o en inglés y intencionalmente voy a meter como palabras en español. Voy a botar un parce o un todo bien o...
La buena.
Sí, cosas así. Con el lenguaje y solo con apropiarse como de todo lo que uno ha vivido, de donde uno viene, siento que es como muy importante y fue también todo un proceso.
Okay. So, Santi, thank you for being in this our first episode of our podcast of With an Accent. It's been great having you. It's so weird talking to you. in
I
English,
know.
But I love just like it goes to show you like we're Colombians far from home, but we're building a new place. We're building like community,
A new home.
together, finding people that like want to that have lived this experience, and I hope like this has been an interesting experience
Yeah,
for you.
sure.
Gracias, Santi.
No,
Thank you, all of you. And
Bye.
bye.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Santiago. I study Innovation and Technology Management at Cattolica. Was that enough?
Un genio total.
Gracias.
As Santiago was saying in Spanish, sometimes all it takes to finally feel you belong, and you've changed, is taking ownership of your roots, your identity, and your language. You've been listening to With an Accent, a podcast of Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. A special thank you to Instituto Toniolo for letting us use their beautiful space for this interview. We hope to see you next time. Bye.